P's and B's?
L's and P?
No, P's and B's.
P's and B's, B's and P's. Let's get going. Very please. Bars.
Stop.
Bars.
Stop.
Bars.
No bars. Cognitive Gaming taking the top side this time. TSM going to start by banning Neath.
Yep. No ban. Or no surprise right there. Neath banned out. Team SoloMid. Doesn't matter if you're the top or the bottom. Neath is annoying to deal with. Almost perfect clear. A global ultimate that sets you up for whatever the hell you have going on otherwise.
And she's a hunter. Speaking of global presences, Athena going to be taken away as well. Cognitive going to answer back with Sylvanas, and first pick will go to TSM.
Bans out. No Sylvanas surprise there. Apollo going to be picked up for Team SoloMid. So with this, this is what we've been seeing.
I think it's
almost
safe to say
instantly.
That he's back.
Yes, of course. I mean, he was back when Bluestone was still in. People were just saying, you know what, Death Toll and Apollo, I can still do it. Bluestone is gone. You know what, Death Toll is the only option. I can definitely do it. That's sort of the thought process with Apollo. Janus and Xbalanque picked up on the top side.
I like that Whirlwind opts away, despite the fact that I would say that the Kukulkan play was really the only thing we saw really breathe life into that game, aside from the first 2 kills. They need to take Janus away from Boosh, and taking it now is a smart play. Xbalanque grabbed, despite slight weakness in the last game. He wants to run it back, while Thor and Geb get picked up for TSM.
Very standard stuff in the first round of picks for TSM. Apollo, Thor, Geb. We know where these characters are going. We know who are going to be playing them. We know what to expect out of this. Janus and Xbalanque, pretty standard right there, but flavor choices, as you said. Xbalanque, not exactly showing up in the last one. Ymir, picked up for Cog, so that's going to be most likely on the support role, but we don't know what Bickham can do.
With that, we go back into the ban phase. Option to Cognitive here. Still looking to possibly hit the support. Probably the safest bet. They could look at mages as well, looking at the mid lane. Wow, okay, going to be Poseidon. Very smart, actually. Not a character that I think is super strong in the current meta, but when you couple it with Thor, and again, given the fact that Aegis doesn't break CC anymore, this is probably their best
also,
bet.
a Cataclysm and a Mez. There's just a number of ways to set up the nuke that is a Kraken.
Right.
So Poseidon's very dependent on that setup. Team SoloMid set up across the board. TSM bans out Bats away from Bickham. Now, that's a character I know Bickham can play. It's a great character, one of my favorite junglers. Definitely something to be afraid of.
I don't think we're going to see the Awelish run back.
It's a high mechanical god. We saw positives out of Bickham, but we also saw some negatives. We saw Featherstep put him in a number of poor situations, not able to really maximize the gravity surge. So I liked what I saw at times. I didn't like what I see at times, but this is the SPL. You need to play for something that you do well at all points in time.
And there's
Bellona.
Right.
Great pick.
She could be jungle, she could be solo. Agni and Sobek locked in here. Sobek will be going, it looks like, to the solo lane.
Yep.
Final pick here for Cognitive. They're looking for a jungle or solo. And given the fact that they already have Ymir, they don't have to go a super tanky route. And in fact, an assassin might do them decently here. Bastet's still available, but I don't know if they want to throw Bastet into the Geb.
That one might be a little bit rough. I like Bastet. Against characters that can get away, i.e. Agni, Thor, Apollo, but as you said, the Geb really, it's such a dirty feeling. Oh, my bleeds are on the shield. Oh, well. Hercules is going to be picked up by Cognitive Gaming. This is a character that both Meerkat and Bickham can control. You can put Bellona and Hercules in either solo or jungle. I think they'll both wind up doing successful. This, to me, is just whatever player feels a little bit more comfortable on the god.
I think putting Hercules into the solo lane is the best bet. He'll get the most use out of teleport, which is probably his current best pickup, given the fact that meditation is horrible and that beads isn't giving him too much against that comp. And while there is a fair amount of CC, they can't be using it on Hercules.
We should
even
celebrate the life of meditation.
Now we're done with that.
Oh, we're done with the life? So what does that mean? It's the death of meditation?
We're done with that too.
Oh, okay.
It's all done.
Next month, we've got something different.
It's all done.
We've coming right into the game, folks. Team SoloMid, if you're just joining us, we are up 1-0. Team SoloMid taking the last one in just above 20 minutes with a ferocious 10K plus gold lead. Cognitive Gaming grouped up right here in the middle, looking for a pick. They'll see if they can find a solo member of TSM.
Speaking of devastating here, check out the death toll start from Hercules. Very curious and not something we normally see. Despite the fact that Bluestone has been nerfed, usually keeping that mana out on Hercules winds up being a little bit more beneficial. Now, with the death toll, his strategy is going to have to change from defense to major amounts of offense.
It also fits. It's definitely a different strategy, but it's a very Meerkat strategy. We see Meerkat play aggressive, even when he's playing defensive-oriented gods. Hercules definitely one of those defensive-oriented gods. So I wouldn't be surprised to see an earlier Jotun's Wrath here than you might suspect other people's Hercules building.
With that, we're into the game here. It doesn't look like anyone is choosing a triple camp start. In fact, everyone's going to be doing double to start out here on the bottom side. TSM with a great start. Maximum damage coming out from Path of Flames. Boosh going to be in a great spot. Perfect. Almost perfect clear. Snoopy's last auto attack might have put Boosh about 4 steps behind, but even so, he will miss no experience going into mid. Great start from TSM.
No real cheekiness. It did take Cognitive Gaming a little while longer to go ahead and grab their blue buff, but it's mirrored on the other side of TSM, so maybe just slow on both sides of the coin in the solo lane as we see junglers join their solo to go ahead and clear out. No problem. No aggression yet, just straight clear.
Meerkat moving forward here does have the creep advantage, and with it, once again, Bickham will have the better route to the mid lane. But again, Boosh already hiding under tower as he knows Bickham's strategy.
That one-wave rotation is becoming more and more frequent that we're seeing here. We even saw it in Europe last time around with Cubo Fred going ahead and doing it for Trig Esports.
It's high experience. It's the most experience that the jungler can gain if he's smart about it. Getting the second wave in mid at the same time that pretty much the first wave in solo dies, then gets immediate trip to the back camps. Now, Boosh here has actually already started up the camp, has taken a decent amount of damage here, but good timer actually puts Gars at the same route. Now, with this, Meerkat is actually going to have a little bit more experience. Boosh and Gars are going to be ahead, or rather even at least, with the mid and solo laner, or jungler as well. So when it comes down to it, you will see a small advantage for TSM so long as Meerkat can't rotate out of the lane.
And he will rotate to the back camps, or he won't make the rotation to the back camps. Divios' portrait actually just above him because they're just so close to each other, most likely fighting as we sit here in the long lane with Snoopy and Ionic on the side of Team SoloMid. Homie Efe a little bit low, taking a little bit of poke from combination of So Beautiful and Geb knockups, the Shockwave doing what it can. Famous Hate just throwing out those bolas.
So right there, this is the power of Team SoloMid. Famous Hate had creep advantage, and yet still backs off. He had free line to auto attacks there, but chooses not to take them. That's why Snoopy is... This is the issue with me when you see a top seed versus a bottom seed, is if that was Snoopy doing that, Snoopy would have hit him 6 or 7 times. Ionic would have been right up in his face trying to control it. Famous Hate, too afraid to pressure Snoopy, already out of mana as well.
Again, creep advantage going to Cognitive Gaming, not taking advantage. Both members of the long lane slinking into the jungle. They're going to go ahead and meet up at
Ymir has the line here. Ymir has the line, but there is still a few more seconds to go. Ionic rotating in. This is looking to shape up to be a 4v4. A lot of pressure onto Ionic there. Shields himself. Beautiful knockup and a big shot to the back. Gars will finish off first blood. And he just knocked him away from the portal. Gars covers the option, and with that, they're going to find another clean kill. Homie Efe getting picked up, and the camp getting taken. Massive win there for TSM.
Beautiful control coming out from Cognitive Gaming, just not able to follow up is the rest of the team. Team SoloMid a little bit testy right there. Boosh very, very low, and a Geb shield over the wall just to make sure he's safe.
The Geb shield was big, but Gars actually saves the play with that stun. If Meerkat had turned around like a quarter second faster and just chucked that boulder before the CC immunity could have come out, it would have been enough to pick up Boosh. He ran in a straight line. The boulder is even bigger than it looks. The hitbox is massive, and it would have resulted in a kill.
This is going to give Snoopy the pure presence to go ahead and hit this tower.
Yeah.
He does have ultimate available.
The timer.
Yep.
He's like, Homie Efe has to freeze. He's got to do it.
Yep. Understanding exactly where it's coming from, and ult's out of there.
Wait, did this cheeky bastard land back in the lane?
Yeah.
Oh, Snoopy's so good at this game.
No reason not to. Famous Hate has no real
reason,
mana.
That's just 2 people. You're supposed to run from that.
Not necessarily. Just get yourself to safety, Brandon.
Oh, and look at this. Utilizing the death toll here to keep his mana up just a little bit. Now, he wants to get to that 2,900 mark, and he does. He can now back at any point to pick up Dev's gauntlets and make sure that he will have an advantage, but he's got to do it soon. Famous Hate only needs about 100 gold, and he's going to get it. Production's calling me out. I almost called them gloves.
Hey, one time I called them devotion gloves.
I mean, like...
Because you only call them Devos.
Well, it's devotion to the stacks, man.
There you go.
Just sitting in lane
The
forever.
devotion gloves. So whatever they need to be called, they're an incredible lifesteal force that have made it back now that Bluestone is a little bit out of the meta. We've slightly tweaked that item, so Death Toll a little bit more popular across the board.
Yep.
And Devo Gloves going to be able to start now. With this, we slightly mentioned it. The Devo Gloves allow you to start the Devo Gauntlets, excuse me, allow you to start the Gold Harpy a little bit earlier.
Right. Give any kind of lifesteal. Oh, Yannick is in so much trouble here. Beautiful shards of ice started there to stop the CC. Yannick very low here,
Great
but check
portal.
it out. Boosh actually maybe finding a kill. Onto Bickham. There's Gars. Okay.
Gars lands on the backside and just picks one up. Herwin, who had a beautiful portal earlier, forced to use his ultimate to get to safety. Ionic, the victim of that beautiful portal, not quite finding death, just able to barely sneak out.
And great play from Divios to block Meerkat's line in again. If Meerkat was a second earlier, it's possible he could have found the boulder. Boosh very low. Almost bounced back into him. No, stay alive. Shotgun from Herwin will find the first kill for Cog. But 5-1 overall, and Gar's hot on his tail with a speed buff. He's got to get himself to a wall now. He's got to get
That wall's not going to do it.
Why did he go down? Why did he go down?
Damage flipped out. Herwin a little bit not safe.
Yeah, he's going to get picked off there. Not sure why I mean, he probably should have just chose to go somewhere else. I mean, even if he had to die for it, maybe dying to the tower instead. Snoopy going to take to the sky here to try to control this one. Only Hand of the Gods finding one here. Iana can still find it. In fact, Snoopy is going to get it there as Bickham finds a little trip out of there. And a nice wall will wash the fight out. But still, 6-1, 2,000 in the lead here is TSM.
Really glad Herwin got a kill there, Brandon. He made some really solid plays. Didn't wind up winning the fight for his team, but the portal was great. I don't know if you guys caught up on that. Ionic was using rollout to get to safety, and the portal from Janus was led perfectly, exactly where Ionic was going to be before the CC immunity came online, stopping him right in his tracks. Unfortunately, again, Cognitive Gaming not able to follow up, but Herwin, great plays coming out from this Janus. I like it.
We haven't really seen the big team fight yet.
Right.
I would like to see a teleport come online a little bit earlier for Hercules. He went into full boots, and he doesn't have that map presence that Sobek is going to have. Even with Teleport 1, he can utilize that to go to a Tier 1 on left and find himself at the Gold Fury much faster, especially considering Meerkat forced out of the lane for the second time now. Now, this should be the teleport pickup here. He has to get back to lane as soon as possible.
Team SoloMid, left-hand side of the map. No Gold Fury or mid Harpies, but
yeah, full teleport coming out.
Yeah.
900 gold to invest there for full map control. All right, so Boosh, well, I was going to say trouble, but nope. Ionic too quick on the draw.
now turned around. The other support is in trouble. Homie Effie finds himself with just a third of his HP left after two abilities coming out from the side of Team SoloMid. Very, very strong.
Well, look at Boosh right now. Boots 2 and 25 stacks on that Doom Orb.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's in a real good spot right now, and he's about to get his second bomb back up. This could be Gold Fury pressure here. Snoopy has locked Famous 8 under the tower. This could shape up to be a 4v4, but TSM has a massive advantage walking into it.
Can't really tell if Cognitive Gaming... They're obviously aware of Team SoloMid. Just can't really tell how much they want to commit to this. Meerkat has committed to the left-hand side of the map, though. Here he is. He's shown his face. So the surprise factor of the rotation is not there.
Meerkat going to be sent back, stunned out by the bomb. A lot of damage coming through and will force out a potion usage. Very smart presence of mind. Not something you see super often. Trying to block the portal. Not long enough. Snoopy still finding the kill there on the homie FA. He gets, looks like disarmed out, but he turns around after it's over. While Degars finds a kill onto the rather non-tanky Hercules, it's going to be up to Famous 8 and Bickham to really shut this down. Herwind already forced out of the fight, and with no ultimate available, he's not coming back.
There was an early ultimate used to save the life of Hercules, able to get out of there, and this is sort of what we see. So the Divios lurking in the waters is what we saw out of Onyx Shards of Ice last time around. Just huge burst damage that doesn't matter if it happens mid-team fight or not. Just kill the objective real quick. Half HP is TSM going into the lane, but still taking an aggressive look. And the Boosh all by himself, frozen ice carpet. The basic from the passive is good, but he's still high HP and wanting to fight.
He's hanging out. Dashes right through. Herwin's dotted. Needs two more. Not going to find it.
Again.
Don't walk over there.
Great play from Herwin.
Don't walk over there. Beautiful body blocks by Divios. Looking for it, and he will find a great pull, driving strike, and then, ooh, Homie Efe finding the kill with the carpet over the wall.
Through the wall?
Yeah, through the wall. Divios trying to find a way out. Perfect wall. Homie Efe looking for the double here. Good use of Geb Shield, the Onyx and the Mark. Looking at Gars in the back line, trying to keep it safe. Another pull, driving strike. Okay, and finds it. Meerkat with another kill, third kill for Cog.
So exciting. It was very cool stuff. Those weren't basic kills. We saw it. Ymir through the wall. We saw just pulls. Very, very sound play from Cog. Those weren't simple picks. Those were sound plays, Brandon.
It came off of over-aggression, though, right? I mean, they were sitting on the enemy side of the jungle for a very long time. TSM getting baited for their greed a little bit while longer, and that's what Cog needs to do. Let TSM get complacent and body them for it. And right there, that was 100% Homie Efe. Shot over the wall, and then the wall to... Look, what is this guy
This
doing?
is another situation that they need to take advantage of. Snoopy is all by himself. Granted, he's level 12.
Yeah, I mean, and Famous
So-
Hate with 36 stacks. And
Yeah.
well, he does have Boots 3, which is a decent amount of damage, but looking at the attack speed from Snoopy, hard to pressure.
Bickham and Meerkat here on the right-hand side against Gars, Divios, and in comes Eonic. Meerkat very low, dashing
Got him.
out of the knock-up, but not the lurking in the waters. Divios gets credit for the kill. Thor is up. Thor must come down. Where will he land? Looking at Herwind.
He's looking at Herwind.
Looking at Herwind.
He's got
Lands on Herwind. Berserker's Barrage going to go ahead and take him away. Important to note, Bickham gets a kill onto Boosh, and we'll see Cognitive Gaming retreat.
And right there, the Quadra Tap coming out from Gars, sending two people packing. They're going to find not only 2 kills on probably the 2 most important targets at this stage, but they're going to find the tower as well.
Very cool play on Gars right there. He waited for the Janus. He waited for Herwind to get away from a wall before he landed on him. He's going to land and deal his damage, forcing you to take a couple of steps before you can portal yourself out, because that's how Herwind has found himself safely a number of times. By making sure that he lands on, he stuns Janus in the middle of the lane, ensures that he can get the kill damage out.
So, pressuring into the tier 1, you're going to see Snoopy maybe not getting a lot of damage off onto the tower, but gaining a lot of control, forcing Famous Hate back to spend some gold. He's 0-0-2 right now, so it won't hurt, but only picking up a short bow, not even a level of actives, that is very painful. A long road home.
12 minutes into this contest, folks. It's game number 2. TSM took the first one, and right now it's looking like the second one might go the same way. 4,500 reads the gold lead, 7,400 reads the experience, and Team SoloMid has 6 kills above their opponent, 10-4.
And look at the level difference, right? You got a level for Divios, 2 for Gars, Boosh actually even, 3 though for Eonic.
Great
and then
stun.
Snoopy, who of course will have that global ultimate. Actually, no, it's going to be used there. He's already down, but even so. They get out of that one safely. TSM doesn't look like they're too phased by the counter-initiate possibility as they back in lane in a rather disrespectful fashion.
Meerkat, Divios doing the soul lane dance right here. Very interesting to see the mid laner and the jungler on top of the damage charts.
Oh, wow.
Snoopy clearly winning this boxing match. Great defensive ultimate coming out from Famous Hate. That, along with the Rising Jaguar, will put Xbalanque so far away from Snoopy that there's no way he can get the kill.
And that's what Snoopy's good at, right? He realizes, I don't need this kill. I could maybe chase it, I could
Yes.
maybe get it, or I could guarantee the fact that I'm going to get some damage off on this tower instead. Force Homie Efe over, and look at all the pressure in the mid. TSM beautifully takes advantage of the fact that Snoopy forced a rotation to left, and while just barely we saw the escape thanks to Herwind's amazing portal, they're still going to find another 500 gold that realistically Cog can't afford.
Famous Hate makes it back into lane here on the left-hand side. Ymir, Homie Efe, rotating over to the left-hand side, beautifully playing defense where it needs to be. Meanwhile, power buff, or red buff, invaded by TSM really for... they took damage from an Agni bomb, but I think they'd rather waste the Agni bomb.
I mean, it comes down to they gained golden experience. They don't really even need the red buff. It's about gaining that extra advantage. Speaking of which, I think Boosh got both of those on top of the fact that he sent about 40% of Bickham's health right into the ether. Snoopy over on left side with a 3-level advantage. Now has boots completed, so just a massive, massive boost here.
Dash in from Snoopy looking very aggressive right there. And he's
Run away.
chunking with those basics. Rising Jaguar used defensively at the absolute last moment it could be. Thor stunned down just a little bit.
But look at this. Gold Fury is completely uncontested. TSM has control over the mid. Famous Hate is pushed out, and if he tries to make a play here, he's almost guaranteed to go down. But Gars and Boosh are getting lower in health. Snoopy's damage isn't high enough to really burst this, maybe unexpectedly. Gars trying to stop as much as possible in terms of being able to blink in. Snoopy takes a Spirit Gun to the back, but will land in the back line, and he'll get a lot for it. But, oh, Meerkat rotating quickly, finds Gars. So far, a 1 for 0.
Biotic picks up one as well. On to Famous Hate. That's going to be a great trade, but Herwin has picked one up. Divios does as well, so now we're even, folks. 2 kills on either side of the matches. Cognitive Gaming winds up with the first kill in that team fight, but unfortunately for them, do not wind up on top. Team SoloMid able to look at the Gold Fury just due to the positioning of these two teams.
Not sure what Homie FA just sent an ice carpet at. Will try to get over here. Blink still down for a few seconds, long enough for Divios to control it, and Herwin didn't make the play for long enough. With that, Homie FA getting very low here. Wall already down, Freeze already down, stunned, knocked up. Ionic finds the kill with 1 shot from Snoop, and of course, the second Gold Fury of the game.
13-6 with the kills after those, but more importantly is the gold lead. 7,000 gold.
Pressuring into the left side. Herwin trying to keep Snoopy out. Snoopy out of mana here. They should try to look to pressure this, but the issue here is that Divios, waiting in the wings for the defense, doesn't quite find the tower, but puts it at critical health and forces, again, Herway away from the experience he needs in the mid lane. They're stifling each other here, and it's not because they're choosing to. It's because TSM keeps forcing them to defend lanes they don't have the personnel to do it. And with that, they're getting multiple forms of experience around the map. They've over doubled their kills. They have almost 7,000 gold in the lead. And let's look at the charts here for the experience, because this is the big story. 10,000 at 16 minutes.
Aggression on the right-hand side of the map, looking for the stun, not able to quite land it. Boosh just barely getting out of the way of the freeze with a great dash.
Boosh trying to work his way back in as well. Bickham very low here as Gars rotates. Will he find the stun? 1, spins, combo.
Not quite.
Oh, very tanky. Bickham with that room forge hammer.
Divios gets hit by the long-range Spirit Gun, only going to take out 25% of the health, but the follow-up from Janus will do the other 25, 50% as soon as that Geb Shield is gone, and it is. Now on the aggressive is Cognitive Gaming, forcing out Team SoloMid. Everyone's very low. Meerkat not able to do much of anything with it, but a great use of the portal. Herwind is there, but a better stun. Thor's in the air. He's going to follow up onto Herwind. No, he's going to follow up on the front side, trusting Boosh to get it by himself. Divios gets a kill on Homie Effie, and Herwind, using the portals greatly, finds himself safe again.
Bickham misses the Eagles rally. Herwind going to go down here as he lands. Snoopy's rotation is strong enough. Famous Hate just doesn't have the damage. We're going to see TSM try to rush forward. Divios misses the charge prey, but keeps the dream alive by setting the tail whip out and forcing them away. Gars will take a trip back as the rest of TSM burns down another 1,500. Hot off their 3 for 1. Back to the graphs we go.
This is the first tier 2 that we've seen coming out of Team SoloMid right here, and 9,500 gold in their coffers right here as far as their lead is concerned. TSM, well, I don't think they're going to be looking at this Fire Giant necessarily. Brandon just sort of walking past it, getting these mid camps, but that is a big win. Cognitive Gaming, I feel like they had all the tools for that fight.
In a rather unimportant but still very fun stat, the level difference between the two teams is actually higher than Homie FA. It is a 12, or maybe now 13 with Gars' last pick up there. A 13 level advantage with Homie FA only being technically they're a man up at this point. This is a 6v5 at this stage of the game.
Numbers never lie as we watch Divios go ahead, grab his own blue buff right here very slowly as Sobek.
Yeah, oh jeez.
Can you imagine a Sobek jungle?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I play casuals, like Sure, I sure can.
And you just sit there. I mean, I've watched Perry try Ares jungle before.
Hello, Boosh? Are you there? Are you lagging?
Hey, what's up? Hello.
He pulled this, dashed it, did a bunch of damage to it, then reset it, turned around, ran to the small camp, threw an auto attack towards his base, and then went back and did the buff. Maybe waiting for Gars there, and Gars like, I don't care, man, just do it.
Yeah, probably, honestly. At this point in the game, sharing the camps is, of course, always advantageous. Your jungler is only 16, but maybe not as important as it needs to be. You have more breathing room with a small 10,000 gold lead.
Yeah, very, very quaint 10,000 gold lead.
Right.
With that, they not only lead in that regard, but take a look at the actives here. There's the same amount of actives, except Meerkat's teleport isn't up right now, which means they should be utilizing this advantage. Granted, they can't know that. I mean, it's impossible to keep track of every timer.
Of course.
But they do have a pretty big power play to make here, given their level advantage, and they should utilize it.
Cognitive Gaming drops a ward right in front of Yannick, and due to the fact that there is a sentry ward right there, just instantaneously deleted.
That 50 gold, though.
50 gold reward. Talk a little bit about the change to the warding system.
Oh wait, we have a fight brewing here. I thought TSM was going to engage there.
Dashed in is Snoopy. Gonna go ahead and not get slowed due to the poison, so good stuff right there. Basics, and down comes Thor! Jesus. Where did he come from? Snoopy gets the last hit on the famous hate, but Thor surprises everyone in the film. Meerkat, half HP, stuck in the hovel. That is the red buff. Beautiful help from Harwind is going to save his solo later.
Oh, but Meerkat missed the driving strike on the left side. Snoopy laying waste here. Boulder not going to be good because the Onyx too quick on the draw. Gonna pick up a huge shield and a huge drop right there as we see Meerkat fall to the wayside and a 2-minute cooldown incurred on that teleport.
Right there. A lot of aggression coming out from the blue team as we see the aggression on the Gold Fury from Snoopy again. Devotion gloves able to make this happen.
Free 1,500 gold there. We're going to see on the left side coming out from Snoopy. Right side, they're going to take away the blue buff. And look at this, homie FA forced to jump away
nice
there.
Blink.
With that blink being down, this should be the Fire Giant pressure. They have more than enough room to take it. They still have the power play with Meerkat down.
80-second cooldown on that blink. Not 45. Harwin deleted immediately by Gars. Just stuck out one stun too long. And it's going to be the same fate for Bickham. Not quite.
Oh, they're
a little bit tankier.
This is over aggression. They thought they had the advantage, but they were very wrong. Homie FA very low. Already picked up on the right side. Wow. Another 3-man swing. And with Meerkat being alive, I mean, still, Fire Giant's available. They have no fault at all going for this tier 2. Hello? Not a good choice there. Left side, Snoopy going to find another 1,500.
Expect this all throughout Apollo. I mean, this is what Apollo does. If you're new to Season 2 Smite, this is what Apollo does. He just split pushes the entire time. There's no reason not to with the ult.
So with that, look at this. Back into the speed buff, controlling over the right side. Let's check out Gold in hand here, see if anyone needs to take a trip back. No. We got about 5,000 gold in hand between the mid and the solo right now for TSM. And even so, Ionic looks what is... Oh, he's trying to clear up the ward. He knocks it out. Did Ionic get that? Ionic actually stole that one away.
Meerkat, again, stuck between too many members of Team SoloMid. You've got Snoopy through the wall, not quite going to land. That's so beautiful.
Doesn't matter.
But enough damage coming out onto Meerkat. It's just a matter of time, folks. Cue the Benny Hill music. Divios gets credit for the kill.
There was really no way for Hercules to escape that. They had the CC on lock there. And, of course, the big kill. Gars not only finding the stun, but placing the wall on the correct side to cut off his path. That's such a big thing that we don't see every Thor player do. And it's something that Gars almost does every single time. And that's actually the second time that we've seen him just do that to Meerkat this game.
In comes the Eagles rallying with it. The stun is good enough to go ahead and steal the Fire Giant for Cognitive Gaming. Snoopy will kill Bickham for it. Famous Hate gets Gars being a little aggressive. And now Team SoloMid, the team without the Fire Giant. Snoopy, very aggressive. One shot, one kill. Famous Hate's going to go down after the Mesmerize. And Team SoloMid, despite losing their objective, will get a much more important objective, the Phoenix.
And they're going to push right in. I mean, realistically, they don't have any line to this. We do have a split push going on with Herwin trying to get as much off as possible. But, I mean, right, like he said, it's Janus. It takes a very long time. Meerkat out of position here. All the damage in the world sent his way. And, again, Hercules going to be sent back. Let's check here. Time spent dead. As we're seeing Hercules really get bullied here. Over 5 minutes in the base.
Team SoloMid just finding their way. They take out that Phoenix, and they're taking out a different structure. The mid lane tower is going to be a tier 2. It'll put 1,500 gold in their pockets. But more importantly, Brandon, it's going to give them footing here on the map.
And with that, he doesn't even get the tier 2.
Nope.
He tried his best. He tried his damnedest even to get some kind of advantage, but instead, without that extra defense, we're going to see Meerkat still dead for 15 more seconds, and they have 3
Blink,
ultimates still
Cataclysm, homie Effie, the target of everyone's ire right now. Dash is going to put a dot onto the target, and Eagles Rally will go ahead and try to stun Boosh, but a better beads will make sure that he's able to stay mobile. The mid Phoenix will still stay alive, but the rest of the fight is on the left-hand side of the map. Divios not able to get the pluck, but the damage is good enough. Snoopy gets one. Bickham not able to dip through the portal.
Stolen from him, but Snoopy doesn't find the last hit. Divios getting very low. Boulder going to be dashed away from, and even so, he finds a way out of there. Snoopy looks like he's
just going for it right now.
So greedy.
He's an objective-minded character. Death Toll, Audacity, landing on the ground is Gars. Greedy or planned? Snoopy's very, very low. Might die to the Bellona. Basics are locked out. Meerkat's looking for him. All he needs is a number 2. Does he have the Earth?
He's stunned. He's out of range. He won't be able to find it. Snoopy should be able to escape, and he dodges it. He baits it and dodges it. 3 more seconds. No, not going to find it. Meerkat knows that he chose a wrong path here, and he...
That's the wall. Beats.
Shield.
Geb Shield, the knockup from Ionic. Hello, ladies. I am here. Stunned out are Meerkat and homie Effie. Meerkat still going for it.
Oh, he finally gets it.
30 seconds. 30 full seconds it took Meerkat. You can see the taunts.
But look at it. The whole time they're chasing him, Gars and Boosh are like, hey, we can push towers too.
Meerkat is taunting as he's walking away from this guy. He might not win the war, but he wins that battle. Homie Effie going to go down here to the hand of the Boosh, and this will be Team SoloMid pushing in. The Titan already down to about 30%. And ladies and gentlemen,
I think they got it.
Yeah, it's going to be the attempt at the win from Team SoloMid here after running around on a wild goose chase. 2 kills on the side of Herwin's Janus.
Titan's still alive. The Titan's still barely alive, and after the reset, it actually makes it pretty healthy. Eagles Rally going to be used. Bludgeon trying to keep as much damage out as possible, but here comes Ionic. It's getting lower. Lower. It's
the Geb basics.
10.
Oh, but Divios is right here. It's going to be a lot of burst damage from lurking in the waters. The 2 Guardians take down the Titan.
With that, TSM closes the set out 2-0 in a rather dramatic fashion. They used a lot trying to chase down Snoopy. And, even though it wound up losing them the game, I feel like if Snoopy got away from that, they would have lost right after that anyway.
Yeah, I think it was sort of just a means to an end at that point in time, just taking down the timer essentially, and it's about the small wins at that point. Again, we saw Meerkat taunting as he walked away. I got the kill, guys. I think that's really what was on the top of Meerkat's mind, but it all started someplace else. Let's take a look at First Blood, how this second matchup went the way of the victors. We'll see where it started.
So what happens here is the First Blood curse is broken. The first 5 kills of this game wind up going to TSM, and of course, massively thanks to Gars' ridiculous damage. Body block's going to come out. Look at that. Snoopy pushes him away, gets the body block down. Gars gets into the backline to control even more space. It was an absolutely devastating first fight for Cognitive. TSM controlling it completely and taking a lot out of it.
Yeah, it's a story of the second game for sure. Just control over not just the map, but the game in general. Really able to just take care of business when it needed to be taken care of. A lot of cool individual play and a lot of cool other team-wise play. And guys, we have a jungle map, and it's going to be correct this time. 97 fire giants on the okay. Only 1 on the side of Cognitive Gaming, who got the steal. Great stuff.
That's true. Yeah, Meerkat jumps in there with the Eagles Rally, not only getting the Fire Giant, but giving his team just enough sustainability and damage to actually help help Famous Hate take down Gars in the backline. It was actually a really important play, but in the end, the 2/3 control from TSM was just a little bit too much for them to deal with.
This just in. Spirits on the side of Cognitive Gaming, still a little bit fun. We see Meerkat on Meerkat on Twitter call out Snoopy. Snoopy is free, is what he said on Twitter, and Snoopy responds, the longest, expletive chase of my life. It was just a little close at Meerkat, so a little bit of friendly banter from the teams.
He started at the Phoenix, ran through the right jungle up until the mid camps, juked back into the left side, baited out the wall at the mid camps on the left, dodged around it, got the Geb shield, and got all the way to the tier 2 before the driving strike Earthbreaker picks up the kill.
See, for me, it was the Earthbreaker, the through the wall Earthbreaker. Snoopy dodged by not moving. He just goes ahead and stops moving. And obviously, folks, player of the game going to Snoopy due to his dancing shoes, able to move 10, 1, and 8.
His one death was a 45-second chase. It took them 45 seconds to kill him for the one time they confounded. This to me was the true reawakening of Apollo. We've seen him play, we've seen him do well, but 2 games in a row, Snoopy showed just why this character was played so much in Season 1.
And this is also a great performance by Snoopy, sort of in the other direction that I'm used to seeing. Snoopy, for me, has always been, and I'm pretty sure I have the unique opinion here, but I feel like Snoopy has always been the role player on this team, where the spotlight sort of goes to Cars and other players. Snoopy's always doing enough that a Hunter's supposed to do. This time takes the spotlight, and it just clearly shows that all around the board, this Team SoloMid team able to do what they need to. But on the line, we don't have Snoopy. We have the young Ionic. How you doing, bud?
Hey guys, how are you?
Doing well, man. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
That's good to hear. Congratulations on your 2-0 sweep of the series. Very, very cool stuff right there. Weren't able to get the tree like we talked about last time. How'd you feel on Geb?
Well, Geb's just always really, really comfortable and really fun, so...
Those shields were on point, man.
Thank you.
Especially that last one on Snoopy. You should really be mad at him for dying after you saved him 3 times. I'd be mad.
Yeah. Ymir and Cat was just pretty thirsty.
Just a little bit. You guys have really played incredibly in this past series. Looking forward onto your schedule next week. In week number 7, you guys are going to go up against Denial. This is going to be a big match for, honestly, both of you guys. Have you guys been preparing, or are you just starting?
We'll probably prepare for him throughout the week and be ready to go on Sunday.
So for me, speaking of Denial, for me, they've always been known as a very team-oriented team, right? They like to play as 5 a lot, especially in the mid-game. Now, when I look at TSM, you guys are also very mobile, but you always choose to fight fights in a 2v2 and 3v3 fashion. You're always trying to separate the fight. Now, with Denial, usually trying to group it up and keep it together. And of course, you guys not wanting to give away too many strategies. I'm majorly looking at Divios here for the earlier rotations. Now, is this something that you guys are working on, or are you going to try to stick to your strategies?
I think as long as we play our game, we should be fine to take the win.
I can't disagree with that.
Just stick to what we do best.
Pooch, is that your dog?
Yeah, that is a dog in the background.
Does your dog root for you guys? Is it a Team SoloMid dog or just an Ionic dog?
It's just an Ionic dog, but sometimes she comes and sits in my room while I play in the SPL, so...
There you go.
She roots for us.
That might be the key to your victories, but let me ask you right here. In the cognitive game specifically, what was the key? What allowed you guys to really push forward? In the game 2 specifically, you guys just created an incredible lead.
I think our mid-fight went really well. So overall, at the first mid-camps and the second mid-camps, we were able to pick up some good kills and just snowball our advantage from there and just keep pushing.
Tell us about your discussion in your comms when the DC happens, right? Homie FA goes away, and then Famous Hate doesn't let the pause go out. What are you guys saying?
I think what happened was Famous had one toggled on Xbalanque, which doesn't let you pause, because I know that they tried to stop being in combat for a little while, so... Anyway, Snoopy just called. We were all like, wow, that sucks that they can't pause. And then Snoopy said, Famous has no mana. Obviously, homie's back to the base. And we just push our advantage wherever we can. Unfortunate for them. But
you got to take the W. It's the Pro League.
Yeah, sometimes that's just the way.
No, definitely.
Just the way it works.
Yeah, respect for that. Trust me. I always give out respect where respect
We're
is
no
due.
stranger to combat pauses ourselves. So.
Very true with the throwback to Season 1.
Why did he turn around?
Anyway, congratulations on your victory, not just now, but as well as you've had a very successful season. Any questions, comments, concerns, call-outs, shout-outs, etc.?
Just shout out to my team, and shout out to our sponsors, TSM, and shout out to you guys for doing a good job casting. And I'll see you guys at the LAN.
Awesome. Confident words coming out from the support player from Team SoloMid, Ionic. Very, very cool stuff to have him alongside us. So very cool stuff coming out from basically everybody here. With 2 matches in the book, we've got 1 left for you on the North American side of things. It's going to be Denial versus AFK. Stay tuned, guys, right here on twitch.tv/SmiteGame. We'll bring it to you in just a couple of minutes.